cool. And just so you know, none of you will be on the recording. So it's just going to be my video. And yeah, feel free if you want to keep your video on, that's awesome. If you want to turn it off, that's okay. But I do love to see your smiling faces. So if you have any questions or anything along the way, or you want to share anything, I'm just going to invite you to write it in the chat. And yeah, that's about it. So who wants more clients? Great, well then we're all in the right spot. Perfect, that's what we're gonna do here today. So who wants lots of clients? Just one person? All right, cool. So I do want you to make sure you have a pen and a paper. So take a minute to grab that if you don't have one. I'm gonna ask you to write down a couple of things at a couple different points, but other than that, I'm actually gonna recommend that you don't take notes. You will have a recording of this so that if you want to take notes later, you can. But we will be working with the subconscious mind. And so taking notes sometimes keeps you analytical. So unless I ask you to write something down, I'm going to recommend that you just relax, enjoy, and listen and just receive. You'll even have your eyes closed at a few points. I'll let you know. So you'll have the recording if you want to take notes about anything later. All right, so what are we going to do today? Are you all like curious about like what this is even about? I have a unique way of approaching transformation and creating results. And I'm sure if you've ever looked at, some form of strategy or client attraction marketing, there's lots of things to do and lots of steps and lots of systems and strategies and all of this stuff you have to do, but very few people actually address the being and the person that you are and the mind and the energy that you're working with. And this is the key to unlocking any results you want in your life without so much stress and effort and overwhelm and the procrastination and all the things that we come up and face against when we're doing something new or wanting to grow in some way. So I'm an advanced clinical hypnotherapist, and I've been working, I started taking my business online about 6 years ago. Yeah, and I've worked with people on so many different things. I have a background also in Kundalini yoga and somatic sexology. And so I have a very, I would say, integrated perspective on the mind, body, and soul and how it all works together and why we have certain behaviors and responses and why certain things are harder and easier and how to really operate your human mind body to create results in your life. So, we have these stories in our minds about who we are and what we're capable of doing and what's easy and what's hard. And all of these stories affect what we create. We're going to dive more into that. But what we're going to do today is really about, first of all, clearing your energy and your body of tired, resistant energy. If you've been in business or, really just tried to do anything for any period of time, it can get tiring sometimes and your motivation can waver. And then you start to doubt yourself. Am I doing the right thing? Is this really what I want to be doing? And so that tired, heavy energy just clogs your vision. And so we're going to first clear some of that. And then we want to put an end, like total, complete end to the thoughts and the behaviors that create self-sabotage. So I'm sure you've probably heard, we could be our own worst enemy. Most of the time, we're just getting in our own way. It's not some external circumstance. A lot of the time, that's really preventing us from creating what we want. A lot of the times, it's just what's happening on the inside. So once we clear that stuff, we're going to establish clarity and confidence, whether you have a product or a service or whatever it is that you are wanting to grow and take to the next level. We're going to amp up the confidence and energy around that and turn up some motivation. How does that sound? Yeah, great, cool. Okay, so a lot of coaching programs, marketing programs, they're all like rah, 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 and like pump you up, like get you really, really excited. And then, maybe if you're in a group with them or you go to like a Tony Robbins weekend event or something, and it's like pump up high energy. It's like, it's kind of cool because you can ride the wave of energy and you feel so awesome. Or even if you're in some kind of a coaching program or a 5-day challenge or something, and it's exciting while you're part of it. But then when it ends, the motivation just kind of wavers, just kind of fades, right? The energy fades, your results kind of start to fade, and you won't go back to where you started from, but you're like, wait a minute, where did all that energy go? Where did all of that excitement go, right? And so what I do is totally different, okay? It's not about rah, 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 pump you up. It's about completing the past, okay? It's about completing the past so that you can move on in your life without the baggage of the past, because it's the baggage and the heaviness of the past that kind of keeps us in that old, familiar, safe comfort zone after the rah, rah, rah is kind of faded. So we're going to complete the past today to create a natural alignment with your clients, or maybe it's new opportunities that you're looking for. Everybody's kind of coming from a different background and industry, which is so cool. I love it. It's so great. And so every one of you is going to get something really powerful out of today. There's different things that will probably apply to you and your unique situation more specifically. So I'll just invite you to go through the whole process, and some things are going to have a really big impact, and other things, you can just kind of go through and know that it's working on your mind, body. Yeah. So about 6 years ago, I started to bring my business online and started doing online sessions over Skype at the time. I was actually living in LA, and some people were just they're like, I don't want to drive an hour for the session. Could we just do it on video? And I was like, okay, sure. And then I was like, oh, this is actually pretty easy. And then I started traveling. So then I was like, I'll just do it always online. And that was really cool. And because I was doing it online, even before COVID and everything, I had clients. I started meeting people on my travels, and I started having clients in Australia and South Africa, Thailand, India, Germany. Like I was just working with people from all over the world, even in, of course, all over North America as well, East Coast and the West Coast. And so it was awesome. And I was working with people on different issues, like, as a hypnotherapist, I help people with their mind, and the application is so vast, helping people with like confidence and relationships and health issues, fertility, with sexuality, money problems, whatever. It was just like helping people get their mind out of the way. But attracting clients to me was kind of like a mystery. Like I didn't really know that I could just do something and then it would create a certain result. It was kind of like people would just kind of come randomly. I might meet them, and like I didn't know how to have any sort of control or influence over that. So I joined this year-long, like high-level online business marketing program. And I learned, I'm just realizing the sun is coming out. I'm like, my face is getting really bright. So I joined this program, and I learned so much about marketing. It was so in-depth. Like, I feel like it was just so crazy. I learned about first of all, not just my own business and how it would apply, but it was kind of a mastermind style. So I was getting the inside view of a lot of other people's businesses as well, and their systems and strategies, and like learning about everything from like messaging and branding and, you know, different online funnels and like just so much stuff, ads, challenges, all of these things. And it was a lot. It was a lot to do. And so I was trying to do all of this stuff and implement all of this stuff. Everything they taught me, I was like, you know, I have a lot of energy. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to like make all of these things. And there was lots of raw energy. We would do these like weekend workshops where we would all work together to get stuff done. But even after doing it and like being consistent on social media and like doing a challenge and doing all of these things, they were starting to tell me how to do Facebook ads. And that was the point where I was like, okay, none of this is really working. Like people were trickling in, but I was putting in so much effort and time. And I was just like starting to kind of be like, why am I doing this? This is so ridiculous. Like I'm exhausted. So one day, my friend introduced me to a mystic, and he opened my eyes to something new. And, you know, I have, like I was saying, like more like 15 years ago, I started like really studying yoga and meditation and the energy bodies. And so I had this sort of spiritual experience and understanding of the mind and the body, but I wasn't really applying it to business. I was like, it was like a separate part of my life. And so when I met this mystic, he's like, he showed me how to create effortless ease and how to bring those things together, how to bring the energy and the spirit and bring it into connecting with my clients. And so we're going to go through some of the things that I've learned from him today. Pretty cool, right? So when he showed me this about just over 2 years ago, right, like towards the end of me being this long mentorship program, I was like, I never want to do marketing ever again. I just want to like dive deep with people and help them like awaken to these amazing insights like we do in our sessions. You know, I've done sessions with some of you one-on-one, and it's like so cool. And I love working deeply. And so I would lose motivation whenever I had to do other things, you know, related to marketing. And ever since that day that which we'll get into a little bit more later, I've had basically a wait list for people to work with me ever since. And anything I've done in terms of marketing has just been for fun because I'm inspired to do it. And I think that's the way we should do everything in life for the most part. It's good to do hard things, but also it doesn't have to be so hard. So that being said, I'm curious to hear, I'd love for you to share in the chat, what is your current method of attracting clients and connecting with clients? Maybe you do Facebook or post on social media, maybe you do nothing, maybe you have like listings, or maybe you go to networking events. I want to know what you do. Post on social media, networking, yeah. And then there's like the whole social media thing. I feel like I always see people posting like the algorithm has changed and you have to like do this new thing on the algorithm. Like it's like you have to now learn this little weird trick and do things this way, especially like I see some people saying like dance like a monkey on Reels. Kind of funny. Funnel through my ebook and Facebook ads, which costs $500 a month, social media, YouTube channel, and newsletter. Wow, cool. I'm halfway through studies at HMI. I got a picture taken in a suit, posted on Facebook. You got 30 sessions from that. Dang. Well, you guys are bringing the magic too. I love it. That's awesome. That's so great. Ah, pro bono. Okay. That's great though, okay? When you're first starting, you just got to get out there. I think that's really awesome. It's so cool. Yeah, you need the suit. Exactly. What suit are you wearing? I love it. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so I want to know, other than Evan, just kidding, how effective are these things that you're doing? The posting and the ads and all of that. Not effective. I'm not attracting clients that I really want to. Right, not attracting the clients that you want to. Everyone else is silent. Lots of downloads that people book me for my free discovery called Don't Show Up. It's a theme. Okay, so even if you're attracting people, it's maybe not like people are taking things seriously, or maybe not people you're wanting to work with. And I'm so excited because what we're going to do today is going to help you align with the exact people that you are going to love working with. So you can see, right? Doesn't really matter how much money you spend on ads. If you're not getting the people you want, or you're getting people and they're not showing up, or maybe nobody's showing up at all, or you're just not really sure if what you're doing is working, then it doesn't matter how much money you spend on your ads. If you don't believe it's going to work, it's not going to work. Doesn't matter how much time you spend on social media. If you don't believe that it's going to fill your calendar, it's not going to work. If you have past results of something not working, and you think that what has happened in the past is going to keep happening, it's not going to work. No matter what you do, it's not going to work. Somebody else could take the exact same system you're using, it could work for them, but it's not going to work for you. You could have $1 million funnel, but it wouldn't work for you. So we have these beliefs, right? This works, that doesn't work. Where do you think you get these beliefs from, of like what you should do, what will work, what won't work? There's like online trainings, ads for the latest webinar funnel, networking events, all these gurus who have all of these, things that will tell you, if you just do this, you'll get passive income. We've all seen those ads. Spending money on programs that, like, again, you have that rah excitement at the beginning, but then it's not effective for very long. And I'm curious, like, who thinks that you have to spend a lot of time on social media and post consistently? Yeah, everyone. I did that. I know. I know all about it. That's like, wait, you have to be consistent. That's like what everybody says. Okay. But like, who says that? Somebody decided that and then went viral, and then everybody believes that. And then everyone said it's the algorithm and you have to do it. You have to be consistent. Okay. So this is just a few of the things that kind of get lodged in the mind that create like fractured energy that just isn't flowing. So we're going, in a few minutes, we're going to write out all of these opinions and these blocks and these beliefs that have been blocking you from creating consistent clients. Cool? Got to get rid of the old first so we can make space for the new. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Grab your pen and paper, and I'm going to put on a timer, and I'll give you a 1-minute warning when we're going to have time. And what I want you to do is just write without stopping. Even if you repeat yourself, the point here is like, you're going to get a cramp in your hand if you're doing it right. So just write as fast as you can. And looks like Nancy is just joining us. So we're grabbing a pen and a paper and writing down the things that you've done in your business or done to attract clients and things that haven't worked. So I'm just going to set a 5-minute timer and you're going to write as fast as possible. Just get it out. Any of the things that you have done. I don't have enough clients because. Okay, so that'll be your first prompt. I don't have enough clients because, or I can't get more clients because. Okay. So you just want to start writing and just let it flow. The good stuff will come once you get going. Can't get more clients because. What do you think you need? I don't know how to get clients. I don't know the right strategy. I'm hoping they will come. Maybe it's luck or it's a mystery how they will come. I've never been able to get clients. I don't know if they'll pay my prices. It's hard for me to get clients. I'm not sure if I'm good enough to get clients. Keep writing, don't stop. Keep the pen flowing. What do you think is missing? I'm not sure if people will want to work with me. I was told I have to spend 20K in ads before I could get clients coming in. If I don't do it, I won't have enough money. Nobody will find me online if I don't spend a lot of money on ads. Keep writing, we'll go for 1 more minute. My website isn't good enough. It's a risky business. What's blocking you from success? Just keep writing it all down, flush it all out. My offers aren't good enough. Oh, my favorite one. I don't have a niche. Start to wrap up. Can you see how much stuff you've been writing down in 5 minutes? Is that some baggage or what? How can you be successful if you have all of this stuff running in your head? It's just like, you don't even know it's there because it's in your subconscious mind. We're just kind of pulling it out right now. But it creates some noise, like a static, which is not flowing the energy. It's just like clogging up the drains a little bit. So I want you guys to share with me some of the most painful and ridiculous examples that you wrote down. Share in the chat. It's hard to get customers. If you think it's hard, what is going to be the result? Going by the seat of my pants. Not being found by the right people or seen by the right people. Not being seen is a big one. So I want you to feel that in your body. Whatever one like you that's jumping off the page for you, not being seen. I want you to feel what that feels like in your body. If you're not seen, then you're hiding. Fear to express the authentic expression of myself as a healer, holding back. So feel that holding back. Feel what that feels like in your body. Do you know that a thought you think repeatedly or an emotion you feel, over time it becomes part of your physiology? It's not just staying in your mind and your thoughts and your behaviors and your reactions. It's called physiognomy. So it's basically where your inner state and your feelings are reflected in your facial expressions. Your body composition, the way you hold yourself, the way you move. All marketing and promo feels like a lie to me. Oh my gosh, I had this one. So actually I've had all of these, but this one, it's like, I really wrestled with that one for me too, because I just felt like I was always being tricked, especially after doing this like really high level year-long program that I kind of felt like I got convinced into. Like I actually just wanted to take this like one weekend course and they like upsold me to this year-long thing. And it was like bells and whistles and fireworks. And I just felt like duped, you know, and then that was something that I had to toss, because then anything I would share or post, I thought, wow, am I tricking people? But this was all unconscious. I didn't know this until I got rid of it. But if you think that all marketing is like a lie, feel that in your body. And any marketing you do, what's the result going to be? It's going to be tricking people. Even if you have the greatest of intentions, if you have this opinion in there, is that not going to cause confusion in your messaging? Every single one of us could say something like simple, like, come to my website and book a call with me. But the way that that message is delivered and also received by the person listening is different for every single one of us, according to all of these beliefs and the energy in our body. That's why it doesn't matter if you have the $1 million webinar funnel. It works for some people, doesn't work for other people. You know, I mean, there's layers to it. If you have a ton of money to throw at it, then you can really figure it out and hire all the people. But on this level of, you know, your beliefs and your opinions about what is hard and what is easy, it gets stored in your body, it gets stored in your nervous system. You know, if something's hard or you're not seen, you shrink back, and that's your comfort zone. So you actually cannot receive more people. Why? Because you're not seen. Yeah, apprehensions about getting results. Don't worry, after 30 people, Evan, you're going to be fine. You'll see the results. Yeah, well, you know, that's another thing too. I mean, I don't know if it's a part of your training that you have to get a certain amount of hours first, but just being, you know, having an exchange for your time, you know, that can be something that might be blocking you as well. So who wants to keep this page of stuff? You guys want to keep it? You can keep it and you can fold it up and put it in your pocket, and then you can go to some kind of other marketing training and bring all of your past with you, and then get all rah, cheered up, and, you know, try some kind of new strategy and see how it goes. And so I want to give you some context, okay? All of these things that you wrote down are 100% true for you. It's 100% holding you back right now. Why? Because you learned it somewhere from some kind of so-called expert, or even in the case if you're like, oh, I have the fear of being seen or something, that's coming from somewhere. Maybe you learned it from your family growing up, you know, maybe it wasn't safe to be seen. You had to protect yourself as a child, and you would shrink down and hide. Or you learned it from friends or being bullied growing up. You know, that's actually something that I went through, that I didn't feel like I could express myself, because anytime I did, I would get bullied. And, or maybe it's something you saw on social media, right? So you've got these beliefs and these opinions that you've learned from your past at some point. And it's all true. Why? Because you believe it. Our mind has a filtration system, basically. So your subconscious mind is processing 11 million bits of information in a split second. Like, you know, I'm sitting here, I've got my plants and I've got a glass of water and my computer. Every time I've ever been on Zoom, in a split second, it's like every association and connection and correlation of every time I've ever done anything, with all of the stuff in my view right now, plus all of the processes of my body, my heart beating, my lungs breathe. Like, I'm not thinking about that consciously. It's all just happening. And so your mind is always scanning for stuff, making sense of the world. Okay. Your conscious mind, the one that can listen to me now, hear what I'm saying, say 1 + 1 = 2. Your conscious mind is processing like 40 bits per second. Okay. So 11 billion bits versus 40 bits. Okay. That's significantly different, which means your mind is filtering almost everything that you're thinking at all times. Only 40 things can come through, let's say. So if you think something's hard, guess what? It could be easy, but you are not going to see it. You are not going to have the easy solution. You might feel like you aren't being seen, but all the ways you could be seen or are being seen will not be available to you. So then it reinforces that belief, which is why it's true for you. All these things you've learned from somewhere. Okay. So who wants to release this stuff? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to give you some context. Okay. And at the end of this context, I want you to, I'll tell you when, but I want you to crumple up the paper and throw it in the trash. So anywhere you have something nearby, a trash bin or something, I want you to throw it in the trash. And so just look at the paper for a second. Okay. I want you to feel how painful it is. how it keeps you stagnant, stuck, doubting yourself. Do you want to keep any of it? Just inwardly decide yes or no for yourself. All of these thoughts came to you from one form or another. It doesn't matter where, childhood, online marketing, failed attempts, just whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? Came to you from one form or another. As you look at this paper and you feel the pain and the discombobulation of it all, if you get a splinter in your leg, what's the best thing to do? Take it out, probably. Just get it out. Or do you want to sit with it and go, I wonder where the splinter came from? I wonder, maybe I should call my therapist and talk about it. Maybe we could figure out what type of wood it is. Do you want to figure out where it comes from, or do you just want to take it out right now? Want to take out the splinter? Yeah. So I want you to see every single thing on this paper as a splinter, because that's kind of what it is. It's a splinter that's been stopping you from moving forward and being successful. Every single thing on that paper, whether it's subtle or it's extreme or painful, it's actually a splinter. Okay, I want you to feel in your body how this splinter is hurting you. How much longer should we keep this splinter? We could take it away like in a couple of days or maybe a month. Maybe we could figure out why you have a splinter. Or do you just want to get rid of the splinter? Okay, so in a moment, you're going to say to yourself, I'm ready to pull out all the splinters. And when you say it, I want you to crumple up the paper very, 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 very tight, squeeze it really tight, and then go immediately to your nearest trash bin and toss it out. And when you do that, you're going to say, I release you right now. Toss it in the bin, okay? Are you ready? So I'm ready to pull out all, you look at the paper, I'm ready to pull out all these splinters, crumble it up and throw it in the trash bin. And when you throw it out, I release you right now. Okay, go. And I really want you to feel the energy when you toss it out. Let it leave. Take the splinter out. And let's get a couple of shares. What does that experience feel like for you? I love this analogy of a splinter because this is literally what I do when I'm working with people one-on-one. We're going in and like finding the splinter, the one little, there's like a, we're clearing a lot of stuff, but we go in and we find this splinter and pull it out and it releases. It's like almost like an acupuncture point. And when you pull that splinter out, it changes your energy. And the change becomes like an opening, People get results really fast from this rather than, trying to convince yourself from affirmations. And we go and pull things that we didn't even know were there. I'm ready. I feel calm. Yes. Always feels good throwing away smelly spaghetti. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So everything we do, every action, every thought we think becomes a life we live. And so the act of tossing something away is actually really powerful. I was at a friend's house this week and she has a little sticky note next to her light switch that says, my cells are turning on. Every time she turns on the light switch, she just gets like a jolt of energy. And I love it. Everything we do can be an opportunity to work with our energy and shift our awareness. So you've released we've taken the splinter out, okay? Feeling calm, feeling ready. It's good. So in the space that we've just created, we're going to fill it with new energy, okay? So I want you to pick one area of your industry, either your product, a product you sell, a service you offer, just something that you're proud of. Just, it could be just, you can think of like one thing you really like doing, one thing, if you're in coaching, just like think of like one of your favorite clients, what did you help them solve? It doesn't matter what you're doing, okay? If you're a massage therapist, like you can just think about just, your services, massage therapy. So, but let's just pick one area. And if you want to come back when you listen to the recording, you can do this again if you want to do this with another area. But for right now, just pick one thing, not two things, one. Okay. If you're in real estate, that could be buying or selling a house. Specific, if you're in family law or immigration, just pick one specific thing. Making art, so you are connecting with art lovers, but just pick a specific thing. This is where we're going to go into radical thinking. Okay. Radical thinking means it has nothing to do with your past. If you recycle your past, you're not going to get a new experience. Okay. Unless there's divine intervention. But generally, if you're using your past, you're going to repeat the past. Okay. So that means it has everything to do with right now in the present moment and in the future of what we're creating. Because the future just doesn't really exist. It's every now present moment. So this is radical thinking. I want you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and relax your body. And I want you to choose your skill, your product, your service, whatever it is, just choose one. I'll use the example of massage. Choosing massage skills. Okay, and I want you to just think about your product or service. So in this case, my massage is so healing. My massage is so good that when my clients come, they're so relaxed. They love me. I want you to see that for yourself, no matter what it is that you're doing. If you're in real estate, see the buyers and sellers coming to you. And you explain things to them so well. I want you to see them signing the closing of the house. And they love you so much for helping them with the process. See your clients completing the whole process with you. And see them thanking you. They shake your hand or give you a hug. And they say, thank you so much for helping us. Feel that they are so happy. And you are 100% good in this area. 100%. You are 100% in your skills, in your deliverability, your intention, and they get amazing results. They get amazing results and enjoyment and satisfaction from your work. And they love you so much. They feel so good when they buy your product or service. maybe see your favorite client who just loves your work so much. Feel the warmth coming from them, the gratitude. And you see your clients walking away or sending you an email, thanking you, telling you how happy they are with their service. You can hear them talking to their friends about it. Make sure that you see that. Your clients are so happy. See yourself giving them the best results. They're so happy and so grateful. They're laughing and smiling. They are so grateful. Thank you so much for helping them. For improving their lives. For giving them an experience, an unforgettable experience. See them walking away, thinking to themselves, wow, they're so good. And now that you have seen how good you are, I want you to claim this inwardly for yourself, or out loud, whatever you want. I am so good at what I do. I pick up the telephone, and oh my God, you won't believe how good my massage was. Gotta go see this person. They feel so good. All their aches and pains are gone. So relaxed, happy, and at ease. Leaving raving reviews. Sharing it with their friends. Whatever specialty you chose. Just see your clients are so satisfied. And you smile to yourself. And you say, I'm so good at what I do. I'm so ready to have consistent clients who love my work coming to me now. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and you can flutter your eyes open. How are you feeling? You all look so peaceful. If you feel like sharing anything in the comments about what that experience was like for you, go ahead. It can be helpful when we're doing energetic work to anchor it. If you write a little note on your paper or share it in the chat, it can help to physicalize it. So if you feel like sharing anything, go ahead. So the next thing that we're going to do, like I said, there's stages to this. Some of the stuff will apply more to you than others, but altogether it's like it's really going to activate and open the flow. So this next part is really important, especially for lawyers and healers and coaches. So I told you a couple years ago that a good friend of mine introduced me to a mystic. I was so curious, but also skeptical, so I would always test things he would say with like great hesitation. So when he told me what I'm about to share with you, I resisted it at first. And he held strong and he said, just try it. And I said, okay, you know what? Fine. What have I got to lose? I'm so tired of doing all of this online Facebook ads and marketing and posting every day and feeling like whatever I do is not enough or it's not effective. I'm willing to try it. Okay. And so first thing is he asked me, he said, what does your calendar look like? And he wanted to know what my schedule was. And I said, well, I have clients in New York and Detroit on the East Coast. So I have to wake up early to, do sessions with them. I have to start them at 8 a.m. and I live on the West Coast. And so I have to be available for people when they're done work. So, sometimes my sessions will go to 9 o'clock. And then I have clients who are in like, Germany and stuff, and they're only available on the weekends. So I work Saturdays sometimes. And basically I would just work anytime, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and I would just take Sundays off. And he said, well, that doesn't sound like a very clear schedule to me. And then he asked me to feel what it would feel like to have a full calendar. So I felt I had a full calendar. First of all, that would be a lot of people. I would have to handle so many conversations and emails, contracts, appointments, people wanting to reschedule, like all of that time. I suddenly started to feel like, wow, I have no free time. And my creativity felt immediately blocked. And it became like, it's not fun anymore. I realized I didn't want a full calendar. I felt this tightness in my belly. So a full calendar for me in the past, before this moment, basically meant too many people that I had to be responsible and accountable for. Felt like a lot of work, a lot of organizing, a lot of figuring things out on top of all of this marketing stuff that I had to do every day. So he said, well, why don't you create a calendar that you actually want to be 100% full? And so I said, okay, fine, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 or something like that. But then I was like battling with myself, but I have to be available earlier and the people have to come to me after work. And so I was just like going back and forth and back and forth. And he said, okay, just try something for me. And he said, I want you to see a full calendar. And every time that I felt tense, he said, that's too much. And I was like, okay. So what I ended up coming up with, because I still wanted full-time pay, but I wanted a part-time calendar. So what I came up with was doing sessions with people on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And so a new, easy to fill full-time calendar for me. That felt great. I could take time off. I could have long weekends. I would still have, Mondays and Fridays to do other things, anything else, admin tasks, making videos. Then I started to actually enjoy creating content and just do it from my inspiration rather than like I have to do this stuff every day. And I actually enjoyed my time off, because I wasn't spending it all the time doing marketing things, okay? So the day that I did this was the day that my calendar, this was like 2.5 years ago. From this moment on, my calendar's been full and I've had at times even like a 3-month wait list. And people love to wait, they don't care, they're just like ecstatic. And I used to do all of like the sales calls and stuff, and like I just stopped doing all of that. People would just come and book with me, and it all had to do with the shift in the calendar energetics. So that's what you're going to do here in a moment, is create a calendar that you actually want 100% full. Okay. And so here's the thing is, your nervous system doesn't feel safe when there's no end in sight. I'm so curious how you feel, Evan, with your 30 people. It's a lot of people, right? And so it's like, when there's no end in sight, that's when your inner child comes up and the self-sabotage happens. And then the shrinking and playing small and wanting to be seen even less starts to happen. When you don't have clear boundaries, and when I say boundaries, it doesn't just mean saying no to clients, but it means having a container. You see, your calendar is the space holder for your clients. Your calendar is the energetic thing that actually holds your clients. So when you're just available all the time, whenever trying to be flexible for people, because you think that's the right thing to be available for, actually what it energetically communicates is that you don't have space for them. So you need like actual time slots to bring people into. If you don't have this and you just say, I want more, and you're not clear about more, this was something that has been a game changer, especially for lawyers, that have just been like not specific about how much more, also for a lot of healers as well. They think, I just want all 10 clients now. It's like, well, actually, if they called you up and you were onboarding them, is that actually what you want? Like, you know, if you really feel, because people think this in their mind, they just go, well, if I have this many clients and I make this much money, then, you know, and you're just thinking about it. But if you feel what that feels like to your body and your energy, if it doesn't feel good, your body's going to self-sabotage. It's going to absolutely make you procrastinate or shrink your energy down so you actually can't be seen, whatever it is. I had to redefine my measure of success. And this is something everybody has to go through, because we've just kind of assumed this like 40 hours a week is like what everybody should at minimum do. And if you're a lawyer, it's 80 hours a week, right? Because that's what other people do. But, you know, this schedule also comes from like, I think it was like Henry Ford or something. It was like trying to standardize things for, you know, making cars in a factory, and it's all rooted in industrialism. You know, it's not necessarily rooted in nature. So if you're plugged into what feels good in your body, you're going to be connecting with nature rather than just a system in your mind. We all have our own unique energy and our own unique nature inside of us. And so you want to feel how something feels for you. It's immediately as soon as I did this, I swear to the day, I know the day that I did this, I was sitting under a tree, I was on the phone. The day I made this decision, literally everything changed. Because energetically, I was open to receive. And the funny thing is, so I immediately like shrunk my calendar down to like a quarter of what I was the day before offering. But I started making more money. I think like 2 weeks after that, I got an email from someone who joined my 6-month program. She says, I want to pay double what you're asking. And I was like, what? Like that never happened ever before. I've never heard anybody saying that. And like I took that as a sign to raise my prices, which I did, which also brought in a different type of person who was way more committed and showing up, and it was just totally different. So the other thing is in that spaciousness, I started getting different creative ideas of other ways to help people, like doing group programs and doing workshops, so I could actually help more people in a shorter amount of time. I like started to sell some of my hypnosis recordings to an app. So like the money was flowing. But before, when I was equating only like certain amount of hours to money, thinking about things in that format, I was totally blocked up. So the first thing you have to realize is your calendar is your space holder for your clients. You have to take the lead. You have to have a clear place for them to come into. And this is totally energetics. Like this is also practical. Like I have like certain time slots, but this is like the major reason why this is so powerful is the energetics of it. Because when you know what you want to have full and you feel comfortable and your body agrees with it and it's in a schedule and a flow that you want, you are taking leadership, and your clients can feel that confidence and that structure and leadership, and they can come easily. So I want you to think about right now, what kind of a calendar, what kind of a schedule that you want to create for yourself. And another thing that's important is, if you work like in a studio or an office, or even if you work from home, and you have sort of undefined hours where you can kind of fill it when you want here and there, or you have billables or whatever, and it's just kind of all over the place. I want you to imagine that your calendar is 100% full, no gaps, no space, just working with clients 100% of your current calendar. I want you to feel like what it feels like in your body. Just notice, are you actually okay with this? Does this inspire you, or does this feel tense? Is there any resistance? Does it feel like a lot of work or pressure? If you can only see being comfortable with it being 70% full, I want you to adjust your calendar. Why don't you just block off the time that you actually don't want to work and choose time slots that you can 100% fill? Because 100% is actually easier than 70%. If you think you're keeping time slots open just in case somebody needs it, it's because you don't believe that your clients can come to the slots that you have opened. This takes you out of the leadership that they actually need from you. I'll repeat that, okay? If you think that you want to keep time slots open just in case somebody needs it, it's because you don't believe that your clients can come when you have created the space for them, okay? So if you're not sure, they're not going to be sure. This is the energetics. It's all unconscious, but that's what's felt. So you want to be sure of the exact dates and times that you want to work. If you're uncertain, you think, oh, I'll just work around them. Oh, I'm being flexible. Then the clients aren't going to know when to come. If you're flexible, it means that some days you work, some days you don't want to work. And you've probably felt that. Where some days you're like, oh, I'm really tired. And of course, there's just, your day-to-day life that influences that. But most of that, I don't really feel like working today, goes away when you have a really solid calendar. When you have that feeling of some days I want to work, some days I don't want to work, energetically, your clients don't really know when to come. Every single one of my clients who has a set calendar and time slots, they fill their schedule. Every single one of them. People who don't have a set calendar don't have consistent clients. This is one of the most just about black and white results that I have observed. If you don't have a calendar, you don't have space for them to come. So you're taking the lead. You can be at the whim of your circumstances and kind of flow with people, and you might choose that that's what feels natural for you. But like I said, 100% is easier than 70%. That's why it's like when you commit to something like working out or doing something, or let's say this happens a lot when I'm helping people quit drinking. It's actually so much easier to just quit completely than to drink less. 100% is easier than 70%. So I'm curious to hear some of your reflections. How it's going for you. Have you created a calendar that you feel, yes, 100%, I want this full? Did you create the time slots? If you haven't done that, I recommend you do it right now. If you have any questions, please let me know in the chat. So you're taking the lead, basically. You have the choice to be kind of responding to whatever happens each day, or to be the leader, to lead yourself first and to lead your clients. You got to show them the path. It starts with your mind and your priorities and your choices. One of the ways that you can receive them is, when you think about masculine and feminine dynamics and the structure and the container and the holding, then you can receive them. When you take the lead, what energy do you think feels more magnetic? By the way, I want to be clear, this is not something that you would necessarily communicate. Like, this is all about you and you. So when I made this shift, it's not like I announced to the world my new calendar or something. It was just entirely internal. So to the outside world, nothing changed. To everybody else, nothing changed. This was all, within my priorities and my decision making. And when they can feel that leadership, again, this is energetics, this is unconscious, you need to tell them what to do. People actually get really great results when you tell them what to do, when to come, how to come. And this is first done in your decision making about your calendar. Yeah. Working full-time and squeezing in clients in the morning, after work, Saturday mornings. So you want to see and feel, what can you do? Because here's the thing is, if you're just squeezing everyone in all the time, it's not sustainable. And what I've learned over the years is all about minimum effective dose. So that's why this workshop is 2 hours instead of 3 weeks. It was originally going to be 3 weeks. I was like, no, we don't need to do 3 weeks. We're going to do it in 2 hours, because I have narrowed it down and refined to what is the minimum effective dose. So for you right now, you're learning and you're practicing your skills. What is the minimum effective dose that's really going to get you feeling solid, so that you can start to feel confident? I don't know about your unique situation, but I know you said you just finished your course, so that you can actually start receiving money from your clients after you've done your practice sessions, if that's what you're doing. But a lot of times, like I said, for me, when I was like so worried, I was like, I can't not be available. I'm not just going to work 3 days a week. Like, this is crazy. But as soon as I did that, like, all of this other energy started flowing in, other opportunities started coming my way. And so when you see what is like maybe you just want to do Saturday mornings or something, like, you don't have to pack in. It's not always about more. More is not always the best way to do things. Actually, it's very rarely the best way to do things, because you are not just a mind, your whole body. Your body doesn't want more. That's the definition of overwhelm. More. It's like, and if you're just adding more of the same, how are you creating something new? Right? We're all here on this evolutionary journey, and we're innovating in new ways, and there's new things that we're learning. And when we create space for the new ideas, the new inspiration, the new opportunities, the new clients. 3 to 4 sessions per week. Yeah. And if you set the exact schedule that you want to receive them in, it's going to feel so good on your system, rather, than just squeezing them in throughout the entire week. Because then when you turn off, you can actually turn off. The other thing is, you want to decide how many people do you actually want to come. So if you haven't done that yet, write that down. Write down your time slots. Let me know how are you guys doing with this? How are you feeling? Let me know in the chat. It's the feeling that matters, because your nervous system is the thing that's going to get in your own way. Starts in the mind, but goes through your nervous system, and it halts, keeps you feeling stressed, frustrated. The self-sabotage behaviors, procrastination, closing down your energy so that you're not seen. All of this stuff happens in the body, but it starts in the mind. Feeling openness, receptivity. And so the thing about more is when you don't have a clear container, people can't come. And you resist that much work also because it is spread out. So when you streamline it, people can come. And this might seem kind of magical to you, but there's actually science behind everything that we're doing today, which I'm not going to have a ton of time to go into great detail, but like I said, lo and behold, the day that I shifted this, and as I've taken other people through this process to create a calendar, I actually really wanted to fill 100%. I had the exact clients that I wanted when I wanted. No advertising money. I barely posted. If you look in the last 2 years of anything I've created, I just barely posted things. I mean, especially last time it was COVID, right? I was just taking pictures of my plants all the time. And you know, I did start making YouTube videos because I was actually like, whenever I would do that, I was like excited about it. It was interesting. It was something I wanted to do. And to be honest, over the last 2 years, I mean, maybe because of everything that was happening in the world, like I didn't really want that many clients. So instead of taking on more people, I created a wait list, and every single person was just happy to wait and start our work together. You know, I didn't have to like stretch myself beyond what was comfortable. 4 hours per day, 3 days a week in the afternoon. That feels good. Doesn't that feel good? So much spaciousness. Do you also create time slots for yourself and when you work on marketing, or just when? Okay, so I have on Mondays is when I write. I don't make any appointments for anything personal or anyone else. Mondays is just my creative day. I write, sometimes I nap, I dance, I just create things on Mondays. No specifics. And if in the moment I want to do other things, but I don't create any time slots. I just know Mondays I'm creating stuff because I'm a creative person. I love that. And when I wasn't prioritizing that, my life was totally different. It was stressful. That's why it's the beginning of the week for me. I'm prioritizing number one is writing, creating things, coming up with like my workshop, what do I want to make, what do I want to share. And so that happens first for me. And then, you know, if I have like, you know, I've done like podcast interviews or something, I'll usually book those for Friday. Yeah. So if you haven't written it down, then you don't have it. You got to write down your calendar. Okay. Does everybody have it written down? Okay, great. It's challenging for me to schedule the marketing and creativity because it's so spontaneous. Well, like, you know, I mean, we're all a little bit different. Like I said, you want to connect to your own rhythm and nature rather than trying to create a rigid structure. If I have time at the end, I'm going to share a trick for your calendar that might help. But basically, when you, if it feels good to block off a couple of hours, it's just something you just got to get into, just like going to the gym. So if you're like, hey, I'm going to do 3 hours of just sitting down and writing, what do I want to share? What do I want to create? What kind of marketing or messaging? What do I want to share from my heart? Okay, if you give yourself like a 90-minute or 3-hour blocks at some point, if you want, like I just have the whole day. But if you wanted to get more specific, you totally could. And maybe at first you're like, I'm not coming up with ideas, but if you just do it all the time, you're going to start to create the channel and open it up, and your body's going to know, sit down. The other thing that's really helpful with creativity is to create anchors. So I have a binaural beats track that I listen to from Magnetic Minds. It's just free on YouTube. And rosemary essential oils. I just found these things. This is like, I just came across them because I would listen to different tracks all the time. And I would sit down and put that music on, I sniff the oil, and I'm immediately like into this like super creative focused state. And I'll even have some green tea if I need to like a little bit extra focus if I've been feeling distracted. So you can create different things for yourself. Maybe you light a candle. And so you just do it every time you sit down to create, and it will actually help you to later on, maybe when you're not really in the mood, you just do those things and it's going to drop you into that creative flow. Like, this has been super game changer too. Okay, but let's come back to the calendar. I want you guys to share with me, how does your calendar feel? Please share any insights, what it feels like now. I know some of you are like, oh. I thought I wanted 12. I just saw you wrote. I thought I wanted 12 clients a week, but I realized it's too much for me. It's overwhelming with my energy. 8 would be better. Yeah, seriously, this was the difference. At 12 to, no, I went from 14. No, I did go to 8. Yeah, I went from 12 to 8. That was the number for me that I was basically hovering around. That was like the game changer, right? Before, when I was like, oh, especially because my sessions are 2 hours long. I was like, that feels yummy for me. That feels like really, really good. There's spaciousness. I can relax. I can like really drop in with my clients. And that was the number that I was like, wow, this feels so good. And every day it feels good. And that extra pressure to just feel like you have to do more, it does ridiculous things to your nervous system and to your energy. And it's like, it's so silly. And we just think more is better, but it's not necessarily. And when you take the pressure off is when you have the space for new ideas to come through in different ways you want to, serve your gifts and share your magic and what you're creating in the world. It feels clean, fresh, joyful. Feels like the dream. Yes, this is your life. You can create it. Who says you have to put this many hours in or create this much results? Or especially, I have a few clients who are lawyers who have become life coaches, and specifically life coach for lawyers. And because of their background, they have felt like they have to make $1 million in their business before they can quit their job. And they have to have reached some kind of status to prove that coaching is can be taken seriously. So that's such a strong opinion that causes so much stress and overwhelm, and it blocks that from actually happening. So that's one of those things where it's if you think you have to prove something, you're making it so much harder for yourself, and it's not going to happen. Okay, so everyone's feeling clean, a little bit of lightness, a little bit more clarity, a little more structure to the day, open and ready to receive even more energy. Do you want to fill your calendar now? Do you want to have a wait list even? Yeah, of people you really actually want to work with, not just anybody who will come, but a wait list of solid people, so that every time you are working with someone, you just feel like, oh, this is awesome. I want to be here. I know I can help these people, these clients. We're getting amazing results. Just that feeling of connection and passion and feeling engaged and really, really loving what you're doing, that just radiant heart energy. You ready for it? Yeah? Okay, close your eyes. Deep breath in through your nose. And exhale. Release. Let your whole body relax. Just become aware of the center of your heart. You can even tap on your chest if you want a couple times. Just saying, hello, heart. And from the center of your heart, I want you to imagine a bubble that's growing in all directions, slowly expanding from the center of your heart. And keep that bubble growing and expanding in all directions. And as it grows in all directions, it's pushing out of your body any energy that does not belong to you. Any thoughts, ideas, or opinions? Expanding. And as it gets bigger and bigger, expanding in all directions, it's pushing out of your body and out of your space any energy that does not belong to you. Moving out into your limbs, any thoughts, ideas, and any energy that doesn't belong to you is being pushed out of your body and out of your life. Keep expanding that bubble all the way outside of your body and all the way so that it's even about a foot or 2 feet all around you. And you're sitting in a bubble. You've cleared your body and the space around you from any energy that doesn't belong to you. So I want you to just feel your original frequency. Your original energy. I'm just going to stay here for a few minutes because I think it can be so good to feel and really anchor what it feels like to be in your original energy. Just to anchor this sensation, what it feels like, what you feel like. And as you're sitting in this bubble, you start to float up. Slowly flying up above your body and up into the sky. Higher and higher, floating up, rising up, and as you begin to float up and out into the sky, soaring higher and higher above the land, feeling so peaceful and so relaxed. As you keep floating higher and higher, floating way above the earth. Feeling so much peace. And as you're floating, you see these little lights turning on all around you, like twinkling stars. All of these lights are turning on, and they're coming in from all directions. Just notice what colors you see. These are the clients that you have been waiting for and that have been waiting for you to receive them. So see these lights coming in, magnetizing towards you. As these soul contracts are being activated now. You can see them coming in. Turning on, coming in. Just see them coming to your website, wherever people can find you. They are magnetized and attracted to your website. They can see your photo or your name on your website. It has so much energy. Your photo has so much energy. Your name has so much energy. It attracts people to you. And it fills your calendar, fills your orders. Just see people finding you. Previous clients coming back to you. Coming back to you, finding you, coming towards you from all directions. Activating your soul contracts now. People are coming in and finding you. Random encounters at the coffee shop. And they know immediately, they feel they're magnetized towards your energy. See them finding something that you made online months ago. And it just hits the spot for them. you feel the resonance. Anywhere you list your offers or your services, people come and they find you. See your listings, your name, your website, your photos, videos, and energize them now. And it attracts new clients consistently. The people, the soul contracts that are the people who you can get amazing results for, who you love to work with. We're happy to pay your prices. We're so grateful for you. Flowing in more and more, magnetizing them, seeing those lights be magnetized as you draw them in towards you. Drawing in and magnetizing the people who have been waiting for you. These are the souls, the clients that you are uniquely aligned with, who love what you offer. They love your work. They love you. They get amazing results. You follow your inspiration. You speak from your heart. And it resonates with your dream clients. Simply because you have created a clear space and told them to come, they are now coming, ready to fill your calendar. And they are so excited to work with you. They've been waiting for you. Inwardly saying to yourself and claiming, sending out a beacon, saying inwardly, I am ready for you to come now. As you slowly begin to descend, floating down, back into earth, seeing yourself in time, space, looking down where you're sitting in time, space. As you slowly float down, back into your body, anchoring into your body, feeling the root of your spine and the soles of your feet. Taking a deep breath in through your heart and exhale. Taking another deep breath in, filling up your lungs, And exhale, release. And you can come on back, floating your eyes open when you're ready. Welcome back. You're all so sparkly. How are you feeling? I know you're still landing, but when you're ready, I'd love to hear what that experience was like for you. What did you see, feel? Any insights? Yes, I'm sweaty. That's a lot of energy. We are so powerful. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing how powerful we are. And we're just starting to discover how to use that power. And it's just like, oh, it's so extraordinary. Feeling peaceful and connected. Did you see lots of lights? Yeah. Yeah. I can feel them coming in. I need to do it longer. There's so many possibilities. It's overwhelming. This is why the calendar part is important. Yeah, there's lots of lights. And so what happens is when you call these people in, you might find there's a new way you're going to offer something different or new, or an evolution of what you're creating. It might change because you've now connected to the soul contracts instead of in the past where you're just trying to take some model of what you think you're supposed to do, like try to find a niche that's like people want from like analyzing information compared to connecting to the soul. And now the information and the inspiration and the creativity that comes to you in the coming days and weeks are going to inform the content you make, where you walk, where you go, people you meet with, and new ideas and inspirational flow, because you're connecting to your own nature rather than this like model of analyzing how to perfectly do something. Felt a dynamic exercise of self-connection and frequency. Yeah, that part at the beginning of connecting with your own original frequency, it's amazing how we pick up things throughout the day that we think is us, and the energy, it's like just, you know, I mean, I live in a city, I walk down the street and I pick stuff up just from walking by people. And so when you really just clear your energy and you can feel yourself, you can, you know, the energy flows more clearly, the inspiration flows more clearly, and other people can feel you more clearly rather than you with a combination of other people's stuff also. So that's a really powerful practice that you can do anytime, and you'll have this recording so you can go through any of this anytime that you want. I thought about the souls I have connected with on this journey and the satisfaction it's brought me. Yeah. It's really, really, really powerful when we think about our connections with people from a soul perspective. Yeah, it's beautiful. Is there anything else that you would like to share of your experience of everything that we've done today? Any questions or comments or anything that you'd like to share about your experience today? I feel like I took a mess within that I didn't even realize I had and completely cleaned it up. I feel so grounded in what it feels to come home, or to come with my, what it is to come with my calendar. I don't know what it is to come. I can't read. Yeah, what is to come with my calendar? It is so powerful. So powerful. Like I said, different things we did today will apply more to you than other things. And like everybody's coming from a totally different background. But this calendar piece is everything, seriously. And I actually do have time. I'd love for you to keep sharing your experiences. But one of the things that I will share that can be helpful if you're a creative like me and like scheduling is not like your greatest strength. What I started to do was I would, instead of giving myself, and this is just like a time management thing, little trick that has worked for me and other people that I've shared it with, is that instead of having to like have a to-do list and make it all happen and then feel disappointed when you don't do it by the end of the day and just feel frustrated, what I started doing was time blocking colors. So if I would do something like have a nap or go for a walk or exercise or something that was like about connecting with me and my body, I would just color block something pink. So I didn't, and I would do this in hindsight. So if I spent, I would still have sessions in the morning and the afternoon, but I'd take a nice chunk of day, a nice break in the middle of the day sometimes. And so I would maybe go for a walk. I would put like 2 hours of pink, and it would be like connection to nature and myself. And then if I was doing like sessions, it'd be a light blue color, and then a dark blue would be admin tasks. And instead of scheduling things, this is how I did it at the beginning. Instead of scheduling things like I have to do it in this time, I started just tracking, like at the end of the day, I'd be like, oh, I was doing this sort of activity, more of like feeling based, like focus time, session time, creative time would also be a different color. That's purple. And then like admin stuff. So anyways, what I did is I started to color coordinate chunks of time at the end of the day so I could actually just see what I was doing. And I could see if there wasn't enough pink, I would just like do a little more self-care, or if I wasn't really doing much focused admin stuff that I needed to do. But just the fact of tracking it at the end of the day helped me to have greater awareness of what I was doing with my time, which then started to inform, because it's like a biofeedback, starts to inform how I want to use my time in the future. So sometimes like you don't have to use your calendar only to schedule yourself that you have to do certain things at certain times. You can use it to reflect, to you, like what you're doing, how you're spending your time, and also like when you're available for certain things. So I use my calendar in a different way than most people have, and it's unlocked so much. Like I get so much out of it rather than it's like, oh, it's my schedule, I have to do it. It's like, it's such a powerful tool that creates the space for me, for my clients. Thank you. So good. So I don't know if that's helpful at all. But I've found that has helped me to, to make sure that that my being wants to create and share in the world. I have space for it all, and I can like feel it. And I love having the different colors. So that's one of my calendar hacks that I've used. Yeah. So is there anything else anyone would like to share? Any reflections or anything? Any questions? Am I using an app like Google Calendar? Oh, pen and paper. I haven't heard of pen and paper. I just use my whatever one is on my computer. I don't even know what it's called. Like an Apple computer? Or I mean Apple Calendar? I'm not very techy. But I mean I could, yeah, I love calendar upgrades. So my recommendation moving forward is you tune into how your body feels about something. Maybe you've done something in the past for marketing. If it feels constricting and it makes your body go, ugh, stop doing it. Don't do it anymore. Just give yourself some space, okay? The more space you give yourself, another thing you can do is be an automatic no. unless it's a full body yes. Be an automatic no, unless it's a full body yes, because the energy of your full body yes is so much more powerful and magnetic, and it actually travels farther. Like people can feel the magnetism of a full body yes compared to, I don't really want to do this, but I think I'm supposed to do this. Like that energy is transmitted. And so that action you take of like, I think I should do this, is way less effective. And it creates that, you know, not being sure energy when somebody receives it. So get behind full body yes. And if you're not sure what those things are, spend some time with yourself. Clear your energy, sit in your bubble of energy with yourself and feel what comes from your heart, because it's not about the words you say. Like I was saying earlier, we can all say the same sentence and it's going to come across completely different. It's going to land differently because we're all different. But when you speak from your heart and you share whatever is in the moment creative for you, whatever's inspiring you, whatever it can seem random or not on brand or according to your niche or whatever, but when you follow your inspiration, whether that's creating something online or whether that's you get a feeling of like, I don't know if I really want to work with this client. Well, when you actually, if there's someone you're like, I don't really know if I want to work with them, you say no to them, it's going to make space for somebody that is a full body yes. And so your no is so powerful. And when you speak from your heart, it speaks to the people you've just activated the contracts with. And it's just going to be a natural alignment. Yes, you don't got to convince anybody. You don't got to like do long sales processes. Like it's just a natural feeling and magnetism. So enjoy that. Enjoy your creativity. Give yourself the spaciousness and let your calendars be full. Oh, I'm glad that it's helpful. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. So grateful for you to come live and share your energy and participate. If you need support with anything else, you can feel free to send me an email or just reach out. Let me know if you have any questions or anything else you want to share, if you have any insights or anything coming up. I love to hear how the magical stuff starts to land in the coming days and weeks. So feel free if you want to reach out and share that with me. Sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great week.